if anything's coming through too hot, just turn it down. And you are number 3. Parker, you're number 4. I'm really hot. Sure. Right, Brandon, say some stuff. Hello. Oh, I'm not hearing you. That's weird.
Hello? Hello.
Yeah, you're coming through.
Should I be able to hear myself?
You should be able to.
I can't hear myself.
Okay, so you need to turn yourself up more.
Hello? 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 Okay, I hear myself now.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Hello? Check, check, check.
Hello? Oh, there we go.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. You're 4, Parky. Yeah, you're that one.
Parky?
Parky.
It's his pet name for me.
Parky.
Yeah, you call me Brando in an email, so...
I do, totally. I know.
Check, check, check.
Yeah, you're coming through nice and hot.
Okay, cool.
Kelsick.
Kelsick. I had, when I was growing up in Michigan, people in the community I lived in called me K.
Yeah.
But I made sure that they were saying just the letter K. I'm like, you're not saying K-A-Y.
Did anyone ever call you Special K?
All the time. That's what one of my ex-girlfriends called my penis. It was really weird. Yeah, so.
I don't know what to say.
Have you guys named your junk, or has a girlfriend ever called it something stupid but cute, just in like as jesting?
Not that I can think of.
Nah. Yeah. Are we recording this right now?
Yeah, we just start recording like immediately. Yeah, this is what we do. This is what we do in the Spankatron 5000 podcast, which is.
I feel like I've given my junk a nickname, but I can't for the life of me remember what it might be.
If you could right now, what would you do?
What would I do? What? Name it?
Yeah, like you say, you had to name it right on the spot right now. What would you choose?
It would be something that encapsulates like a good friend who always has my back. Is there for me in a pinch.
Like Eeyore?
Doesn't. No.
Oh.
Like, who was the rabbit?
Rabbit.
In Winnie the Pooh, there was a rabbit.
No, I think his name was Rabbit.
Yeah. Well, no, except that's my nickname for my daughter, so I'm not gonna do that.
What was?
Yeah, you don't want to cross those streets.
What was the name of the fucking little pig?
Piglet?
Piglet? No,
The naming wasn't very complicated on that show.
Yes. Well, Eeyore could have just been donkey.
Yeah, that's true.
Depressed donkey.
And you had Kanga and Roo.
Kanga?
I like that. I like that. Kanga. Yeah, the sound.
Sounds like a bar in Vegas, though. It sounds like a shitty nightclub.
Kanga.
Or an island.
That sound kind of sums up how the feeling of it.
Yeah.
Kanga.
Mine would be yes and.
Yes, and?
Baby, I got an offer. You should accept it.
Oh, my God. Blocked. No and.
So, usually in my practices with the basement so far, it takes us about 5 minutes to get into talking about our wings. And
yeah,
we hit it like 30 seconds in.
we already got there. Yeah,
Well,
it's
that scene we did on Tuesday, how long did it take for us to take our pants off? It wasn't very long.
Did we take our pants off first? Or I'd mentioned I fingered my first girlfriend.
I think we took our pants off really early. And then for a while, Brandon hadn't, and so I made fun of him until he did it.
Right. Did you guys catch after practice when we were all getting on the elevator? I turned to you, Kelsey, and I was like, did we have our shirts off in that scene or just our pants? And
Totally.
how crowded that elevator
Yeah.
was? And did you guys see the guy in the corner who was like, I think I want to play with these guys.
Totally. Did I ride up the elevator with either of you, or was it just afterwards?
It wasn't with me, no.
Okay, so
don't think
the
so.
elevators at TPS are small, which is a place we rehearse, which is by the Space Needle. But they're not like abnormally small. It's just a small space. And there was this like 20-year-old like college girl in there with her Starbucks and like her like Uggs on, and she was like, her like 4 other college buddies were in there with her, and she was like, oh my God, could they have made this elevator any smaller? It's 2016. I was like, and I just wanted to facepalm, but I was just like trying to be polite. And
Where's
just,
my jetpack Vader?
like, totally.
Yeah,
like,
when I was there on Sunday, a 6-year-old girl asked me if I was there to be in Sleeping Beauty, because that's what she was there for. It was adorable.
Oh, that's adorable. What? That's cool.
What were you there for?
Puppet Jam,
Oh, right. Nice.
which, if anyone listening is interested in learning puppets and improv, every Sunday, or twice a month, Sundays, Seattle Puppet Jam on Facebook. Come join us. No experience required.
Where do you guys meet up?
It's at TPS.
So,
Okay.
what's the puppet? Is it like being able to play two characters at once, or?
No. So the sort of standard method that we do, your puppet is your character.
Uh-huh.
I mean, a lot of times you can mix and match. So maybe one person will have a puppet, one person will be themselves. I mean, like you can switch back and forth. But when you have the puppet, it is your character, and you actually. It's kind of amazing what you can do with it because it's all about throwing focus onto the puppet. So if you are throwing your focus correctly onto the puppet, people will not be watching you.
Right.
They will transfer your emotions onto the puppet, your facial expressions.
Right. Right.
You think it'd be beneficial for you guys to wear like black bodysuits?
I don't think it makes a difference.
No.
You know, I mean, there's setups. There a lot of puppetry, especially non-improvised, goes through a lot of effort to have the puppeteer not visible.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's that important.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you look at something like Avenue Q, where I guess they had black bodysuits, but they were all visible, and you never even looked at them.
Right.
So you are not a character. You yourself are not a character. It's just the puppet that's doing their thing, and you're just.
If you need to do something with your legs, you usually use your real legs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's just like a regular. I saw their puppet jam last month with him and with Parker. I got to introduce everyone in a second too, with Parker and Madonna and Dan and Avi, and it was pretty much normal improv except they had a puppet in their hand and their puppets were doing like the games and whatnot.
Oh, I got it.
So yeah,
I got it.
yeah. Speaking of introducing everyone, welcome, ladies and gentlemen of the world, feminists, sexist, masculinists, Asian people, Buddhists, black people, everyone of every color is welcome to listen to this. And I'm glad you're here. Across from me is longtime friend of the show, male, just got his own apartment and lives in a place.
You make it sound like I just moved out of my parents' house.
Yeah.
I just moved out of a situation with roommates to being by myself.
Right. So I don't know if he has a Tinder profile or any kind of online dating, but his name's Parker Thompson. He's a class act. Love his facial hair. And welcome to the show, Parker.
Woo, woo, woo.
At one point, I had pretty much given up on having any success in Tinder, so I just set my profile picture to a picture of a puppet just to see what reactions I would get. No contact.
No contact?
No one even was curious. No one even was like, "What are you doing?" So it was somewhat of a failed experiment.
What puppet did you choose?
I think that was actually. It might have been a picture of a Muppet.
I was gonna say like Kermit the Frog or
I
something.
think the reason for this is long and complicated, but it was Telemonster from Sesame Street.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
See, I would feel in that circumstance that when you look at people on Facebook who don't have their picture up as their profile picture or anywhere on the website, they have you'd think that they don't think they're attractive. But on the same token of that is when I had my OkCupid profile before I met my girlfriend, I was doing I had a long relationship through someone I met on OkCupid. But before that happened, I posted, just as a joke, I went and I Googled ugliest man alive, and I found all these photos, and I posted that as my profile pic. And it's really funny because you can look at your statistics, and I had that day had 99 looks at my profile, and I was like, oh, it worked. But no one sent me a message because then after the ugliest picture in the world was just my regular face.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, this was after my regular face wasn't doing me any favors on that, so
Right.
it's not like I had anything to lose.
Nice. To my right is Brandon Drake. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you.
We are all in an improv group together called The Basement.
But don't I get a long and rolling introduction too about all my facts and
You
figures?
do.
Okay.
You do. Here it goes.
All right.
Brandon was born in 1976
How did you know that?
in Columbus, Ohio,
No.
to a father, Dolph
Yes.
Drake,
That's right.
an immigrant from Germany who created plastic cereal bowls with the sippy lid. And his mom was an accountant at a law firm run by Paris Hilton's dad, Conrad Hilton. and he immigrated here to Seattle in '82.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of the grunge scene.
Right.
Ate the first Dick's hamburger to come off the line, actually. And so he's here, and he is hilarious. He's taken a bunch of Rosowski classes with me, and so is Parker.
Yeah.
Not with me, but Parker's taken them, and so yeah, we're all in the same improv group together, everybody.
Yeah. Right.
And we're gonna do like our, normally on the show we just kind of shoot the shit, and then we'll come up with scenes on the spot and do a bunch of like little scenes, which I'm happy to do. But I think it would be cool if we did what we do, which is we do a longer scene, just kind of like exploring the relationships between three people. And the premise is that we're all trapped in a location, we can't leave. And the goal isn't to try to get out. Like, that's not the goal of the scene whatsoever. It's just to kind of like explore the interpersonal relationships and things like that.
I was thinking, that's probably still my Tinder profile picture. I can check.
Can you check?
So how did you meet your girlfriend you have now?
I met her through a friend who is actually used to be in my improv group back in the day, and it's not like a super cool story. That's just kind of how we met, and we went out on dates, and like sparks flew immediately, and she's like so unbelievably gorgeous. Like, I'm the luckiest man alive. Like, my self-confidence skyrocketed when I met her.
Nice.
I have to reinstall Tinder to find out.
Okay.
Keep covering for me.
Update during the show. So yeah, like that's how I met her. And how'd you meet your wife?
Oh,
what's her
man.
name?
Her name's Jen. Well, this was a long time ago. I was the editor of my university paper, and it was a pretty small paper at a fairly small liberal arts college. And it was hard to get people to submit articles. They would flake out routinely, even though they were getting paid pretty well too for college kids. And this one girl, though, every Friday night would put, this is why I say it was a long time ago, she would take her computer disk, put it in a manila envelope, and then write her name on it, like very professionally, and fold it and stick it in the slot. And it was always there for me every Saturday morning to edit. And for about a month, I would edit her opinion pieces, and I would think, yeah, Parker.
For the audience, Parker just handed his Tinder profile.
If I was a girl and I saw that, I would bring you up and say, this guy has a sense of humor.
Let me see. Yeah. Parker, that's awesome. Nice.
Anyway, I was hoping I would gain some traction by like, oh, he doesn't give a fuck.
Right.
Like, apparently that doesn't actually help.
So for like a month, I read her opinion articles, and I was like, wow, she is smart and she's funny, and I like she had some balls and was kind of taking it to the university a little bit. And I would call her on Saturday night to tell her that I had edited her piece and it would be in the paper, and she had this really kind of sexy voice, and I said, I gotta meet her. Somehow I have to meet her. But the thing was the writers never got together. They just sent their discs in, put it in the mailbox, and I picked them up, and I didn't know who she was. So my friend was in town, and my friend was a real D-bag. He was basically like a porn star, and he was very shallow, and one of his favorite games to play, now this is my friend, not me, was to sit in a crowded space and pick out women who were not typically attractive, and then have me ask him how much money it would take to sleep with them.
What the fuck, dude?
This is just my friend. That's who he was. So he had this thing going. We're like, dude, you don't waste your time with her. She's not gonna be worth your time. She's not gonna be attractive. She's at home on a Saturday night. She writes for the paper. And I was like, well, I don't really care. She sounds really cool. So I set up this fake meeting for all the writers, and I said, this is super important, and if you don't come, you're not going to get paid. You're going to get fired. We're doing all these major we're doing all these major reworkings on the paper. We've had some complaints. You have to come. And I had nothing to talk about at all. And so I set up this meeting, and all these girls started coming in, and every time they came in, I kept hoping, like, oh, I hope she's nice. I hope she's not Jen, though. Oh, she's nice. I hope she's not Jen, though. And then my wife showed up like 15 minutes late to the meeting, and had something better to do.
Playing games.
Well, yeah, she's like, I don't need to do this. Fine, fire me. And she walked in, and it was just that thing. Like, I didn't really
believe in love at first sight or any of that. I wasn't even looking to like be in love, but wham. And
hit you, dude.
Yeah, I spent the whole meeting just kind of staring at her, and like everybody's waiting for me to tell what the major important thing was.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's one of my better stories.
How does this work?
Yo, I live in the house. My best friend's a little tiny homosexual mouse. It doesn't matter what he likes to do with other mice. I just like him for his personality and his rice. He makes me rice every single fucking night. He makes him in the bedroom and he plays with his kite. Sometimes he whips out his little mice dick and he shows it to me and squeaks, "Isn't this thick?"
Word.
He's got a thick mouse dick.
Dick.
Mouse dick.
Mouse dick.
All right, so I think if that previous thing was the weirdest, I think it just got a little bit weirder.
It totally got weird.
All right, let's keep going.
Yeah, let's keep going down this hole and see how deep it goes.
Speaking of holes, I know a woman named Alice. She was always trying to put away the chalice, get down with the rabbit in the dark, make that noise that goes, Bart. Yeah, the puppy had a bad day. I'm sorry, Danny. It just, legs were splayed. And
Actually, my co-host built a cup, took a solo cup and changed it around and cut some pieces out and put some stuff in that because you have to. It has to be pointed towards us, and so we put it in the cup holder, but we don't want it to move around.
Right.
But so what happened is we lost 2 because the volume setting got turned. The recording volume got turned all the way down, so it was like 30 minutes of silence.
Okay.
And then we had one where the button got pressed so that the recording stopped. And then the last one, the batteries died, and we didn't notice, but they died like a minute into the podcast.
Oh, that sucks, dude.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that sucks when that stuff happens. I think podcast land, if we suddenly dropped off, it was my fault. I didn't have my power cable. The part that plugs into the power cable wasn't plugged in, so my computer just went to sleep essentially. But okay, let's see. Parker, do you have the ability to pull up like a suggestion on your phone?
Yeah, I have my Suggestion app. So do you want me to just get a suggestion and pick a word out of it, or how do we want to do this?
Yeah.
We have nouns. Let's see. Salt.
Salt. Okay. Cool. All right. Scene. Go.
Can we start all of ours?
Yeah, totally. We totally can.
see, go.
Go.
Go. Go, man, go. You got this.
I don't know. I don't know if I can do it today, Danny.
Come on, man.
I'm tired and I was up late last night. I can try.
You can't make excuses. We got to do it for each other.
I'm nervous, okay? I'm nervous that it's not gonna end up like we thought.
You gotta get past the fear, man.
Gotta get past that fear.
Gotta get past it.
Gotta get past it.
I'm trying. I'm doing everything you guys suggested, and I've been reading. I spent some times at Barnes & Noble last night at the self-help section, and you know how I don't like going in there. Everybody's always staring at you.
Which can I be honest? That's kind of like that's the first step. Is you really confronted your fear of going in there, and then you went in there and you read them self-help books. So I'm really actually quite proud of you, and you should be of yourself, Brandon.
You know, I'm quite proud that you found a Barnes & Noble's.
Well, thank you. I
Not easy.
have to be honest. I didn't actually read any of the books. I wandered up and down the aisles trying to find the right title, but I couldn't. I didn't even know where to begin.
You know what? That's kind of like life, though, isn't it? Right? I mean, you kind of walk around not knowing. Life is the aisles. Yesterday's one aisle, tomorrow's another aisle. You're walking down the center one, and you kind of look at stuff on your left and right, and you try to figure out, hey, maybe that's part of something I want to buy one day.
And then you realize it was inside you the whole time. You never needed a help book.
Yeah. Your help book's your soul. Your help book can be God, or it can be the universe, or whomever you want to believe in.
Just be you.
Well, you guys put it like that. feel a little better. I still wish I would have pulled one book off the shelf. That would have felt nice, have my own book.
Well, let's be
Could afford it or anything.
well. Let's be fair here. You are missing an arm,
Yeah.
and I know I don't like to point that. I like to just assume the best of people and not point out their shortcomings. And I don't mean shortcomings in a negative way. Parker, how do you politely say when someone's missing an arm? How do you refer to that?
I think horribly crippled.
Horribly crippled is way too far, sir. That is impolite and incorrect. I would say something like disfigured.
Differently armed.
What would you
Well,
say,
that makes it
Brandon?
sound
How
like
would
he
you
has
like
a
to be
gun.
referred to so I don't offend you?
I like to think of myself as being kind of well, the word I made up is floopy.
Floopy?
Yeah,
Loopy. I like that.
because I can't really fly. Like I could fly if I had two arms and was a bird, but I only have one arm, and so it would probably be like flu and then oops.
Well, I understand where you came up with that.
Yeah.
Like if I tried to jump off of a bridge, it'd be like flu.
Brandon, you have always been so creative.
Oh, that's
I've
great.
always loved that about you.
Yeah.
I believe you can fly.
Parker, he can't fly. He's a human
I can't
being.
Fly. I'm a human being with one arm.
It's one thing to be uplifting and tell people truths that inspire them, but it's another thing altogether to tell people lies to make them
Bullshit.
believe in themselves.
You know.
Correct. You said it. You said bullshit. I don't swear. You said it.
You know who had.
You don't swear.
I never swear.
Never swear.
That's bullshit
You,
too.
they know
It's
it
a
ain't
lot of
bullshit. All right, I just swore
Well, see,
because I was repeating. Does that count?
Oh yeah.
If I'm repeating what you said,
Yes.
Sure does.
Yes. One thing I know from sure from when I got baptized is if you think it in your head, it's just as bad as if you did it.
that can I say something? When I baptized you
Yeah,
16 years ago at our church, that was the greatest moment of my priesthood.
really.
You were the easiest baby to dunk. You didn't complain. You didn't pee on me. Your little pants didn't slide aside, so I had to see your junk. It was just a perfect dunking.
How much baby junk do you see in your duties as a minister?
Well, I mean, to be honest, it happens quite a bit. And I try to avert my eyes. I used to wear special glasses that had a little tiny black mark under one of the retinas that would block that kind of stuff, you know?
I mean, if you converted to Judaism, it'd be like part of your job.
Right, I heard one of my friends, Rabbi Jizambagong, he actually would bite. He reaches down and circumcises babies by biting off their foreskin with his teeth.
Wow.
What the fuck?
Can you do that with regular teeth, or did he have to? I imagine you'd have to get them sharpened or something, right?
I do. That's a real good question.
It's just things I like to think about. When you only have one arm, you got
Time to think about things,
Yeah.
regrets, and maybe other ways people could be disfigured.
But I don't want you to think that you should be held back by having one arm, because you know who had one arm? George Washington. And he founded this damn country.
George Washington didn't have one arm.
He sure as hell did.
No,
I don't believe that's true. I studied American history at the Bible College.
He didn't have one arm.
Oh, you studied the Bible version of American history.
Well, of course. What else am I supposed to study at Bible College?
I mean,
At Harvard Bible College, am I supposed to study the real American history book?
I bet they told you that all the founding fathers are Christian and they wanted to make a Christ nation.
Well, most of them were Christian.
Yeah.
I don't know if they wanted to make them a Christ nation.
Yeah, Parker, it says one nation under God on our coins.
That was added in the 1950s.
Okay, well, it still says that, and
Right. And they put that provision in the Constitution that says, in 1950, please add, in God we trust on all our money.
endowed by our
Also, the Christians are in charge.
Creator.
To be honest, I don't think the Christians are in charge anymore.
No.
I think that anti-Christians are in charge everywhere. Not like negative. I'm not saying that it's negative. I'm just saying that like progressives are in charge. It's like anything,
No,
and
I mean,
anything in
as
today's day
an-
and age, Christians are pretty much viewed as like the worst people on the earth.
As an anti-Christian, I take a little bit of offense to that.
You're
Explain to me what it means to be. I mean, I love you as a brother. I mean, we all came up together.
Yeah.
You're an anti-Christian?
Yeah, like, what does that mean?
It's not like it doesn't mean that I hate Christians. It just means that you know how as a Christian you're supposed to think, what would Jesus do?
Yeah.
Like,
how can you be the best version of yourself in this moment?
I'm supposed to do the opposite. I'm supposed to think, what wouldn't Jesus do?
So, Parker, if you're an anti-Christian, what? I know why I'm down here in our apocalyptic bunker practicing, and I know why you're here.
Because I know the end times are coming any day now.
And it sucks that the top is screwed on and we can't get it off.
What are you doing here, Parker?
Look, I thought to myself, what would Jesus do? You know what he would do? He would go out and help the poor and hang out with the cripples. And I'm not doing that.
What did you do? Did you do the opposite of all them things?
I am crippled.
Well, that's true, but I'm not healing you, am I?
Parker, I asked you a question. This is an honesty room. This is the part of the bunker that's the honesty room, okay? I made this for this so we could have these discourses and these talks. Tell me what you did. Did you do the opposite of feeding the poor? Did you
Look,
not feed the poor? What happened?
I
Explain it in detail, please.
I blew up a factory that made loaves and fishes.
You did what?
It's my religious expression. I turned a lot of loaves and fishes into, like, one.
You could have killed people. Did you kill people?
No, I made sure everybody was out of the building and was at night.
That is not okay, Parker. That is not okay.
You can't tell me that my religion is not okay.
What's your religion? Anti-religion?
Anti-Christianism. Christianity.
Believe me.
Anti-Christianism.
I have one arm. Believe me, I know. Nothing is not something. This hole on the left side of me is not something. It's just a hole. So when you say I'm anti-Christian, that means you're saying that you're not saying what you are. You're nothing. So
Yeah, you're right.
You still really haven't answered the question. Like,
Brandon's right.
I know why I'm here. I'm here because I have a beef with you, Pastor, and I figured this is a time where you will not.
We'll talk about it in a minute.
Okay,
Sure.
you bet we will. And in your bunker where you practice for your apocalypse, you're gonna have to answer my questions. What are you doing here, Parker? You still haven't really given me a good answer other than a bunch of bullshit. That's right, I said it.
I don't like it when you swear, Brandon.
Listen, I'm here to deconvert people from Christianity.
Well, you're stuck down here for 7 years. Are you prepared? You think that me and Brandon, who's outright Christians, you're gonna be able to convince us to not be them? I think it's 2-1. I think that over time we'll whittle you down to being an actual Christian.
I think Brandon's got potential. I think he doubts. I think
Brandon
he wonders
was baptized. I ain't worried about anything.
why did God take my arm?
This is starting to freak me out. This is starting to
What
freak
kind
What
of
part?
God?
I'm sorry, Brandon. No,
This is
Brandon.
starting
I'm
to
sorry. What's freaking
me
you
out. Okay, I'll tell you what's freaking me out. I lost my arm trying to play checkers, all right? And you motherfuckers have broken out.
now.
No, hey, I don't care anymore.
Hey, now hey.
You guys have broken out a checkers board to pass the time, all right? And I'm like, I don't want to play. And now
You know what, Brandon? I apologize, but you never told me what happened to your arm until this very moment. I asked you. I baked you pecan pies. I baked you pork rinds. I baked you salads. I baked you everything. I made you homemade sarsaparilla. I brought it over to you when you were in recovery.
I remember that.
I knew what happened to your arm.
Why did none of you tell me? And how did it happen again? I just forgot.
I'm not freaked out. I'm not saying you're to blame. I'm just saying the circumstances have aligned themselves in a very strange and somewhat
They sure have, haven't they?
portentous way of all of a sudden.
Brandon, tell us what happened. You were in Iraq.
That's right.
And what happened with the check? Tell us the whole story from beginning to end, as much detail as you possibly can, please, because I need to hear this. I didn't know. I wouldn't have said it. I wouldn't have brought this checker. I would have burned it.
It's not that interesting of a story.
I want to hear it. Parker, you want to hear it?
Sure. I want to hear your version.
You want to hear my version?
Yeah.
Who else's version would you want to hear?
Well, there's the Stars and Stripes version.
There's my CO's version. There's
Tell us your version, Brandon.
Okay.
So
you guys know I was in Iraq, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you guys know how there's like the special forces and all that stuff.
Correct.
They do all the secret stuff that you don't hear about.
Right.
Okay, I wasn't one of those guys. I was a cook.
Okay.
So
Did you cook for them?
No.
Okay.
My job was to make sure the potatoes were ready and then to put them into the bins.
Okay.
That's what I did.
Hey, everyone's got responsibility, right?
Right.
Not everyone can be Bullet Man 4.
No. So this one day,
Look, if the vents run out of potatoes, the troops will go hungry and they'll be defeated.
look, I told you guys this wasn't a very interesting story.
Parker needs to stop interrupting.
I'm sorry.
And adding.
You interrupted first.
That's true. Very Christian of you.
Turn the other cheek,
All right. So
Pastor.
anyway, I
will.
was cooking potatoes one day. And first, in order to cook potatoes, you have to peel potatoes.
Now, is that a position that you get promoted to? Because originally you said you were just taking them potatoes and putting them in a bin. Now you say you're cooking them, and now you're saying you're peeling them. So Is that all done in the same position, or did you kind of move up because of your leadership skills?
Well, a lot of people got this position as a form of punishment. For me, everybody sort of just said it was my natural place to be.
Okay.
So other people would come and go, but I was just sort of there.
Well, yeah, everyone's got their own place in the world.
Yeah.
It's on account of I can't shoot very good or follow orders very well, and I had a tendency to wet my pants whenever anybody said 10 hut.
Correct.
And
I understand that.
I
Scary.
also,
That's scary. 10 Hut's scary.
Yeah.
10 Hut, right?
10 hut. And I
Did they use football terms?
Yeah, I just wet my pants again.
It's
Oh.
okay. I got a
I'm
laundry
sorry.
machine.
I'm
Now,
sorry.
do
You
they
have
say
a laundry machine down
do
here?
they say 10 Hut
I've been
in
wearing
the
the
Army?
same clothes for a
Listen,
year.
look at this guy over here. He's down here for the apocalypse because he want to make sure he has clean clothes on. That
Look,
about
I don't wanna
sums it
smell
up
bad.
For you, Pastor.
Hey,
When
gee,
Jesus
don't take
comes,
that
I want to
attitude
make
with
sure I
me.
have nice underwear on.
Look, I got to pick apart something you just said.
What?
Do they say 10 Hut in the Army?
Pissed my pants again.
I won't say it again. Do they say that word phrase
Yes.
Which
in Iraq?
phrase?
Yes, they do.
I'm not saying it. I'm saying 11 house.
You mean 10 Hut?
Oh, stop doing that, Parker.
I'm gonna dehydrate again. Anyway, I
So
told
you're
you-
making the potatoes.
I'm making the potatoes, and before then I had watched Jerry Springer, because that's on TV over there. And then someone wanted to play checkers, and his name was Daryl, who also made potatoes, but for the other tent.
Oh, Daryl, so nice.
And he was laying down the checkers board, and as I was walking to the checkers board, I bumped against the tin that kept the potatoes, and it cut my arm.
Oh, geez. Just cut it a little bit?
Yeah, but I got into this very long checkers game that went on for a long time. So by the time it was finished, I had developed some kind of gangrene, and I got put in the very back of the hospital because I'm just a.
But then what I heard, and I'm going to be honest, Brandon, your mama talked to me, and she told me that right after that happened, they were about to amputate your arm. But then the jihadist broke in and shot everybody and shot your arm off. Is that right?
My mom's a big liar. She just said that so people wouldn't feel like I was such a pathetic loser.
Are you
I
serious?
told you
You're
guys,
not a loser,
this
Brandon.
is not an exciting story.
Listen, Brandon.
Now, I will tell you this. You want to hear something cool?
I love cool things.
All that happened was they cut my arm off because of the gangrene from the potato bin. And I laid there and cried for a while. And then I came home, okay? And now I'm
You
with
get discharged honorably?
But I heard that they took my arm and sewed my arm onto a special forces guy who needed a new arm. And that arm pulled the trigger that shot Osama bin Laden.
Oh,
Listen,
my God, dear
Brandon.
Lord. Part of you is an American hero, Brandon.
Right, yeah.
You think these things have happened randomly.
You know what's funny,
What?
Brandon?
What?
When I baptized you,
What? What happened? What?
all I did was dip your right arm in that water.
What?
That's why it had to be removed.
No, I'm saying that's the only part of you I dipped in that water. It's blessed. Your arm is blessed. Your arm was sent by Jesus to kill Osama bin Laden.
Why didn't you dip the rest of me in so that I could be all good?
I didn't want to see your body. I don't want to see naked boys.
Listen, Jesus may have blessed your arm, but I can tell you, us Satanists, us anti-Christians,
Wait, you a Satanist now? You said you're anti-Christian. Are you now a Satanist? Are you raising the levels here?
All right, yeah, also that. Listen, you might not recognize me as this, but what if you see that I'm Daryl?
What?
Now, who's Daryl?
Daryl is the one who cost you your arm.
Oh, my God. Are you serious, Brandon? Is that Daryl?
No, that's Parker with a
Parker
funny
just
voice.
fucking with you?
Yeah. What the fuck, Parker?
Parker, what the fuck?
I got you going.
I just swore. I
Oh,
just swore.
I win.
Now look-
Hail Satan.
Down here, we got some rules.
Yeah.
If I swear, I get 30 lashes, and I'm prepared to have any one of you do that to me, okay?
Isn't this what you've been waiting for, Parker?
Hell yeah.
All right.
Now, we get not till next week.
So wait a minute. You only dipped my right arm in, and so my right arm was blessed, but the rest of me was normal.
Correct.
And is this a regular thing you do with everybody that you baptize?
No. Look, your mama was very strict with me, and she told me, Pastor Kelsey, when you baptize my boy, I don't want you touching his penis. I don't want you touching his legs or his butt. So what I had to do is I had to grab you by your waist, and you were struggling. You dipped one arm in the water, and I said, baptize him complete. Praise Jesus. And then I set you down, and you were all wet, and you were crying. But, man, I saw a glisten on your arm. I think I saw the Spirit of Jesus in your arm that night.
Couldn't have done an Achilles and held him by the heel or something?
Now, who would I can't hold a baby up by its heel. Are you an idiot, Parker?
Well, that's the Achilles, right?
How do you baptize in the Satan church? Why don't you explain that to me?
Well, see, we dry you out with a hairdryer. It's the opposite. But listen, without that arm, you're not baptized anymore. That was the only party you got baptized, and it's gone.
He does have a point.
Wow.
Your promise of heaven left you that moment, son.
Wow.
The only thing you got left is Satan.
Right. And the rest of my life and whatever else I might discover along the way, might find.
Can I tell you guys something? We're down here for 7 years.
Why are we down here for 7 years again? How does that work? I mean, the thing just shut, right? By accident. I mean,
No, well, I mean, by accident, yes, but there's a timer on it which won't unlock for 7 years, which means that's okay because in 3 years when the apocalypse goes down, so after that, all the wandering tribes of humans will have killed each other off. It'll just be us three left to kind of collect the goods, you know what I mean?
Wait.
How do you know?
Doesn't the apocalypse last 7 years?
Yeah, but this is a leap year.
So we'll end 3 years early, though.
Is that correct?
I think so. Let's check the Bible.
I actually feel a lot better about myself than when this situation started. And I'm the one who has like no answers at all and without an arm. And I think you guys are a couple of douchebags. I gotta tell
Hey,
you.
now, don't call me. Brandon, I respect
do.
you. I love you. I baptized you. And
If
you
it cost me my arm to be able to say that, I'll take it.
Brandon.
According to the rules of the bunker, you have to eat a hot pepper every time you swear.
I got 14 jars of hot peppers, so I know I'm prepared for
you guys
y'all.
just keep making up rules. That's all you do.
I'm not making up anything. It's all here on the spreadsheet on the wall.
Yeah.
You don't know dick about anything that's gonna
don't
happen.
say another hot
stuff
pepper.
like that
It's
to
like, for
me.
example, let me ask. Be honest. Pat.
All right,
Be
I'll be
hon-
honest. All right, I'll be honest right
Okay,
now.
be
Tell
honest.
me. Ask
Be
me.
honest.
Ask me
And
anything
be
you
hon-
want.
I will.
Okay.
Okay.
You want to play murder, fuck, kill?
If you knew, because you're in touch with the Lord, that you were gonna come down here and this top of your thing was gonna close and trap us in here. If you knew that, would you really pick me and Parker to be trapped in here with of all the people on the earth? Come on. Wouldn't you want to like pick like, I don't know, like Gandhi's son so you could baptize him, or maybe like the head jihadist? So
Can I tell you something about Gandhi, first of all? Before Gandhi became a holy man and a unifier of the poor in India, he was actually a womanizer and a racist and a motherfucker. And that's fucking fact. I read that on fucking Wikipedia. That's right. I'm swearing now, right? I like jalapeno. I'm swearing now.
It's coming natural.
Gandhi
I gotta
was a
say.
dick.
You're up
All
to
right,
about
but listen to
100
me.
lashes.
You're not answering my question.
I would rather be in a bunker with you two asshats so I could learn to grow as a person, learn to love you, than be in here with people I already love.
asshat. That is spoken like someone who knows his way around filthy language. You just don't arrive at asshat.
Okay,
I wasn't born a priest. Is that if that's what you're asking, asshole?
Asshole. Look at you mix and match.
Thank you.
Mother
Guys,
bitch.
this is important.
Did you just call me a mother bitch?
I
Mother
did.
bitch? That's 2 more peppers.
I know my. Look at
Wait,
you.
that's one pepper. Mother's
ain't-
not a swear
wait.
word, Parker.
Anti-Christian sitting over here acting like a goddamn motherfucking Puritan. What's up with that?
Well, there's something important. It came up earlier, but I would fuck myself, murder Kelsey, and kill Brandon.
All right, fair enough. You know what? It's 7 o'clock. I have a little chart here, games you play. 7 o'clock, we all play murder, fuck, kill. All right?
I don't know how this game works.
All right, how this game works is I give you 3 celebrities.
Okay.
And then I say murder, fuck, kill. And you have to decide, who would I murder? Who would I fuck? Wait, murder and kill the same thing.
Right.
That's
Mary.
slightly different.
I think
maybe it's an accident.
I think it's murder, fuck, marry. That's correct. That's correct.
No, you know what it is? It's murder, but the kill is like a self-defense, justifiable homicide
I know
thing.
why
so
you
it's,
said that, pastors, because you're already married to Jesus.
That's true. But let's play it. Let's play it.
You're
Okay.
gay married to Jesus.
All right, I'm going to give you 3 celebrities, Brandon. You get to choose. Who would you marry? Who would you fuck? And who would you kill?
I'd rather play murder, fuck, kill.
What's the difference between marry and fuck?
Now, that's a good
What's
question.
the difference between fuck and kill?
I posed that question to the two of you for a reason. What's the difference between fucking kill?
I might have revealed too much of my personal life.
Maybe just a little bit.
I don't have all the answers, okay?
Because I
turned to the
gotta
Bible.
say, the longer I'm down here, the more I think the two of you are exactly the same.
We'll look it up in the Bible index.
I don't need shit when I get out of here. Fuck you all. Like, that's what I think.
You know what, Brandon?
What?
I would fuck you.
I'm not a celebrity.
Parker, I would marry you.
My arm's
and I would
famous.
kill myself after I did both those things.
You know, I'm changing my answer.
I thought I got
I'd
to go.
fuck you, I'd fuck you, and I'd fuck me.
I'm not a celebrity.
Fair enough.
Okay, so I get to play, right? Do I
Yes.
get- okay.
All right,
This
I'm
is
going to
fun.
give you
I've never done
3
this-
celebrities.
I've never done this before.
All right. Tom Arnold. Joseph of Arimathea. Carly Simon.
Does Joseph really qualify as a celebrity? Is it? I mean, if you asked most people, would they know who that is?
I know who it is.
All right, Bob Newhart.
Okay. So, this is kind of easy.
At least the first one, the fuck one, that's got to be Carly Simon. That's the only woman.
All right.
So I have to decide whether I want to murder. Oh wait, I have to marry one of them.
Correct.
Now I see how this game's hard. Newhart. Newhart.
Bob Newhart.
Or who's the other one?
I forget already. Who does
See,
it?
this is why I prefer murder, fuck, kill.
It was it wasn't Joseph. It was Bob Newhart. It was Tom Arnold.
Tom Arnold.
Okay, I would murder Tom Arnold without a doubt. And
haven't you seen?
No, that guy's horrible. He was just piggybacking off of
Roseanne, that was bad. And I would
True Lies?
I would marry Bob Newhart. That could be interesting. I mean, he'd be a
Okay.
good companion.
That's fair enough.
Well, and then it's like you'd wake up one day and you'd realize the last year of your life was just a dream.
So let me ask you a question, Pastor. You really get off on asking other people questions about themselves, don't you?
That's how you learn about people, idiot.
I think that's how you protect yourself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, I'm gonna put some celebrities to you.
All right.
All
Shoot.
right?
Do you ever wonder why your wife killed herself, Pastor?
I like that question better.
Yeah. Who would she murder? She would probably.
Okay, wait,
She would
wait.
probably murder, fuck, and kill you.
Okay, first one, your dead wife.
Fake crier.
Second one,
She's famous too.
Jesus.
She is famous.
And third one, let's say Mother Teresa.
Okay. I'll kill Mother Teresa.
Oh man,
I would fuck who?
Jesus, I guess.
Jesus. What would you do to Jesus?
I would
Yeah.
not fuck Jesus. I would murder Jesus. Wait, what is it? What the fuck?
We would kill Jesus,
That was
murder,
one of those-
murder Mother Teresa.
That was a white moment there.
Just start over again.
Admit
I forgot everything. Tell me them people again.
You hate trying
Alright.
to live up
You're-
to Jesus' example. You hate it.
Your dead wife,
Say her name.
Carly.
Okay.
Jesus. Mother Teresa.
I'd kill my dead wife because she's already dead. I'd marry Mother Teresa and I would fuck Jesus. Now praise Jesus. God, don't judge me for that. That was the kindest thing to do.
Get down on your knees and praise Jesus.
All right. Well, I don't feel like I'm really learning anything from this game that I didn't already know about you.
Why don't you ask Parker those 3 questions and we'll all retire for the night. I got to get some sleep before I rip fucking Sunday school y'all tomorrow.
That's another 30 lashes.
I got a lot of lashes coming. I'm
Yeah,
not going to lie.
we got to schedule some lash time.
I'm not going to Sunday school tomorrow. I'm free of all of this, and I think, frankly, if I tried hard enough with my one arm, I could create a crack in a brick and dig myself out. But before I do that, okay, Parker,
All I ever wanted was for you to believe in yourself.
don't take my success as your success, buddy. Don't do that.
Really,
do
really,
that.
anything you accomplish at this point is due to me encouraging you.
All right, ask them the fucking question. Murder, death, Mary. Murder, fuck, Mary.
I'm not sure which
Murder,
way
death, kill.
to go because Parker, I'm not really sure what you are. I still haven't figured you out yet.
Exactly. I'm an enigma.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So let's say, let's pick 3 very innocent creatures. Then it'll tell us a lot about you how you decide.
Jessica Tandy.
I was gonna
I
say
don't know who that is.
She was in Cocoon.
Annie Warbucks.
Okay.
Um,
I feel like you're setting up a trap for me here, but
you're free to chime in, Pastor, if you see where I'm going with this. Annie Warbucks is the first one.
Mm-hmm. I do see where you're going here.
Lassie the dog.
okay.
Or Lisa Turtle from Saved by the Bell.
You know what? I'm gonna change that to Timmy, the little boy that Lassie was always helping. Or
Okay.
who did you say?
I just said Lisa Turtle from Saved by the Bell.
Which one was that?
She was the black one. That's the easiest way to categorize without going into details of their character and their laugh and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like you're really being a little
You know,
defensive.
I'm gonna go a different direction here.
probably
I'm
was.
gonna go a different direction. Hitler.
Jesus Christ, just give me 3 people.
Hitler. Mao and
Walt Disney?
yeah.
Hitler, Mao, or Walt Disney?
Okay. So I would fuck Walt Disney to death, first of all.
Okay.
And then I would marry Hitler, because when he kills himself, I'd get his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
Blood money, though, you'd probably be sin for live on that.
Well-
Karmically. I learned that from Buddhism.
and I would, I guess, also fuck Mao. I don't know. I already used up my other option.
Don't you have to murder Mao?
Well, I fucked Walt Disney to death, so I guess I used murder.
What is with fucking to death? That's the second time
It's
that.
something you said that a lot, since it's a running theme with you.
Yeah.
Why are you so violent?
Yeah,
Can't
why-
you be a Satanist without killing shit?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like if you gotta take love and turn it to something ugly, I don't know if there's anything of
It's not
validating
ugly. It's
there.
beautiful.
Fucking something to death.
Sure. It's
It's
like
kinda-
life
kinda
and
fucked
death
up.
mixed together.
Is this something like that happened to you? Maybe metaphorically.
Well,
or,
no one fucked me to death.
Or do you sound sad about that?
All right, I'm going to my room to pray. Y'all have a good night.
Wait a minute, Pastor. You learned something from Buddhism?
I did. I was a Buddhist monk before I became a Christian one.
I can't wait to see what you're gonna be next.
I'll just you wait. I'm like a fucking caterpillar.
I think there's a Satanist in there somewhere.
Maybe. All right, good night, guys.
Good night.
I'm gonna start digging. I'll be gone in the morning. It doesn't
I
really
bet
look
you
like that
will.
hard. I don't think.
I
you
bet you will.
didn't put much. I actually bet you bought this bunker at IKEA.
No comment.
It's a plastic.
I'm gonna warm up my lash.
All right, good night, y'all. And scene.
Scene. Stop.
Scene, stop.
Seat, stop, seat, go.
We always close out the show with a freestyle rap.
Oh, great.
Wow, we're already to the end. Yo, I am a Satanist, and I think you'll find that I'm the greatness. I fuck you to death, I fuck you all over. I fuck you till you're in a field of clover.
Right.
Satanists like to fuck and field the clovers. They don't give a fuck about the luck they could get if they picked the 4-cornered ones. You know, the 4-cornered clovers, the Irish thing that people love to talk about. Go back home and cook all their trout. Irish people, they're all fucking rad. They got cool ass accents and they all have dads. The difference between them and us is that we don't have dads here in America.
It's your freshman year. You're back in school. Hey, man, I just figured out Nietzsche was cool. That's right. I wear black. I'm pissed off and smoke cloves. Everybody come over to my dorm room. It's dope. Being down with the negative, it's cool. It's also really easy. Don't you know you're just a fool? You're walking around with a frown on your face. It would be so much easy to say, you know what, maybe I'll accept some grace. Cause life is short, motherfucker, you're gonna be dead. You might as well find a reason in the morning to get out of bed.
Yo. Jesus. I'm Jesus. I'm here to make sure I please us. I'm gonna save you all. Go into my giant entrance hall in heaven. That's right, up in the clouds. Up in the clouds where we're all allowed. Except the Satanists, they don't get to come. They have to go back where they're from.
Here's the thing about heaven, if you stop to think. All the people up there, they don't screw or drink. What goes on in heaven every day? I'll tell you, okay? It's just a bunch of people playing Parcheesi. Say, isn't this great? If you don't learn how to live in life, what's the point of being dead and being white? You know, with the sheet and the angels. You're not gonna do anything except wish you were, with the dangle. I want to be in hell, down with the peeps, down with those who listen to music like this and like to drink. I want to get high with those who lived in life.
Hello, my name is Buddha. I like to sit here and eat my Gouda and think about Nirvana while I eat my cheese. I also like to rub this wax on my knees. I got really hairy knees. They're stopping me from meditating. What rhymes with meditating? Oh, that's right.
Masturbating.
Masturbating. I do that here too. Under this tree. My name is Buddha. I like to masturbate and touch my pee. When people come by, they say, "Hey, Mr. Buddha, you're the enlightened one. Can I please have a pint of your blessed cum?" I say, "No, no, no. You get enlightened by sitting down here and your life is frightened. Under the Bodhinyana tree, that's how you gain nirvana. Hey, drink your own pee."
You know what's crazy? Masturbating is mindfulness if you're lazy.
Shit, boy, truth. That shit was true.
It works the same. All thoughts empty. There's nothing but just the cum in your brain. I don't think at all. I just grab my cock and give it a stroke. Hey, religion can be boiled down to one kind of funny joke.
Coming out your dick and you gain enlightenment. Coming out your dick and you gain enlightenment.
Coming out your dick and you gain enlightenment.
Coming out your dick and you gain enlightenment.
Come
Go.
out the dick.
Come out the dick. Hoes really like it when you come out that dick.
Just a matter of time before the price of Vaseline rising. Before you know, there will be a whole clergy saying that's the wrong stroke. You're gonna be dying.
Just listen to me to hear to get closer to God. All you gotta do is touch your bod. Give it a whack, and you'll see God'll cut you some slack.
All right.
Hail
well
Satan.
done. Well done. Oh. Fuck it. We can do one more.
Oh, here we go.
And we can call it. I was born by the river one year, 1976. I was born by a queer. That's a really mean thing to call people that are gay, but my dad said, "Son, I want you to call me that, you hear?" I said, "Dad, I love you. I don't want to call you that name." He said, "You gotta learn how to play the rap game. That's how you do it. You call people names. You talk about money and hoes and fame and shooting your gat at people, killing them on the street. Then you cut off their fucking feet. Yo, my dad was a fucking whore. He taught me bad things and he taught me some more, and now I'm here in prison learning to live, scrubbing little toilets and playing with my dibs. My dibs is my dick."
I'm just sitting in my cell, waiting to be well, but I keep seeing you play with your dib. What gives? You play with your dib. I'm in your cell. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't know why you think you can touch yourself when I'm right here sitting on my shelf. What the fuck? What's wrong with you, dude? Quit cracking your pud. I'm right here and I got the attitude.
Every time someone says the river and mentions the 70s, I think of Deliver. You know the movie with the pig and the squealing? I saw that when I was in high school. I was like, damn, they were dealing. What happened to movies now? They're so lame and safe. I want to go to a river and watch someone scream and try to get away.
Squeal, boy.
Yo, my cellmate, he killed someone down by the river while they masturbate. He tells me every night, "Hey, you want to hear the story how I got in here? I'm really, really hoary. In fact, if you want to do me in here, you can. You can put your dick inside my butt. I call it my can. Do it in my bunk. Do it till I spunk. And then I'll wake up and I'll drink lots of drunk." Yo, library books. I read them every day like Captain Hook. Changing the subject from butt sex to reading. Hey, don't get mad at me. I'm gonna go outside and do some weeding. I'm a man of the world. I'm a Renaissance guy. I like to do cool shit like look at the sky. I'm in here for life. I'm in here for days. All my best friends just happen to be gay.
Hey, that's cool, Kelsey. Change the subject. I'm with that. It makes sense. It's all abject anyway. You know, one thing goes up and the other goes down. I'm thinking right now about my wife's wedding gown. It's cool. I'm here with you dudes. But all of a sudden in my mind I jump and you know, we're playing with pubes. Whatever, I'm with it. I can get down all the way. I think most people go from reading to butt sex though, in their brains.
My name is Mr. Hook, and I think you might have mistook me for a guy who doesn't have butt sex. That's right, I'm a French pirate, so I got it double in both ends. All the penises right up in my butt.
All the penises right up in the butt of the French pirates. All the penises right up in the butts of the French pirates. Fuck to death.
There's this
Fucking all the
lingering
French
question.
pirates.
Fuck to death.
French pirates like to have sex in their butts.
You know, really, all of us really just want to live life in a way where we get fucked to death.
Yeah.
Fucked to death. Fucked to death. Fucked to death.
Think about it.
Fucked to death.
I mean, really,
True.
fucked and then we die.
That's what Neverland was all about. Just getting railed till you die.
Young Money. All right. Well done, folks. Any plugs for anyone individually? Show's over. This time we do plugs. I know like tomorrow we have a show, but this won't be out for a couple weeks, so that will be pointless. What do we have coming up as the basement? I know we have some dates, but I'm still kind of confused as to when they are.
Thing on the 23rd. Will this be out by then?
It will be out right before then. So yeah, so we have a show with Half Sister, and we're the basement. And I made the artwork for it today, the graphic to send up to the Eclectic. So the show's technically called Sister Basement.
Oh, I was hoping for
Yeah,
Basement
that's cool.
Sister.
I was gonna do Basement Sister. Maybe it is Basement Sister. I think it is Basement
I think
Sister.
that's better.
Yeah, that's better. It is that.
Is this like a combo where we're all combining and stuff?
It's kind of a mashup. We're all just
Yeah,
doing
cool.
we're all just doing shit together. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And that's at the Eclectic on Capitol Hill, and that is on what day? April
23rd.
April 23rd, 10:30 p.m. I know it's late, but it's a Saturday, so y'all should come out and see
What
us.
else
It's gonna
you
be
doing?
hilarious. Sorry?
I said, what else are you doing? Nothing.
Nothing.
We have a show May 13th, which is a basement show. It's going to be a buddy up. So like a half hour of us and a half hour of somebody else. That's at the Pocket Theater.
Brandon, what do you got coming up? You have any side projects?
Yeah, people can check out my website, Brandon's. What's it called when it's? It's a Brandon-Drake.
Is it a dash? Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
I mean,
in
it's
the
a little
middle.
line that connects
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
Brandon-Drake.com. I got a website where I'm building and sharing some stuff there. And yeah, I got a lot of crap going on outside of improv that's coming along. It's cool, but
Cool,
I
man.
can't really talk about it.
Man, we got to do some clown stuff one of these days.
Yeah, there's yeah, speaking of clown, like if anybody out there is interested, there's a sick, maybe once in a lifetime chance to work with this one of the best clown teachers in the world is coming to Seattle in July. His name's I'm gonna say it wrong, Atur Basuri. He's coming in July, so if you have money and are interested in clowning, that would be like, it's like Wazowski for clowning.
Cool.
And we got our shows. I'm stoked to be a part of the group, by the way. I'm kind of new, and I'm excited to be playing with you guys this spring.
Thanks, man. We all are.
You guys are tight.
Excited to have you. So let's see. So the Puppet Slam is going to happen before this comes out.
Okay.
So, other than that, I have my podcast. It's called Driving Miss Wiki, and basically on my commute home, my passenger reads me Wikipedia articles, and we discuss them / make fun of them.
It's awesome. It's
check
really
us-
good, guys. I've listened to it. You should check it out. How do they see it? How do they get there?
You can go to, you search on iTunes for Driving Miss Wiki, or go to drivingmisswiki.com.
Cool. News for me. I'm kind of super excited about this. It's been a year, but I'll keep it kind of short. In 2015, I created the Dragon Sex Calendar as a gag gift, where I paid 13 artists to paint dragons having sex, and I made it into a calendar, and it sold out. And so I have been working a second job to pay for that again this year, and the artwork is unfucking believable. I have people who've done art for DC Comics. I have people who are professional fantasy novel cover painters, and it's so funny because it's so beautiful, but the subject matter is so ridiculous.
You have no idea how excited I am for
So-
this.
I just found someone on DeviantArt that literally looks like the artwork that they paint it's like unbelievably like rich and colorful and kind of cartoony, and like I can't even describe it. They said they weren't doing any commissioned work. They were too busy. I offered them double their going rate to do this artwork for me, and they agreed to do it, and I can't wait to get it.
Wait a minute.
Is this another Dragon Sex calendar?
Yes, it's Dragon Sex Calendar for 2017.
And you went and got a second job to finance this?
Correct.
That is badass.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I,
dude.
I didn't know you had a second
To
job.
finance,
I just drive for Lyft.
but you went and got that to finance so you could pay these artists to have that kind of quality work.
You,
but-
sir, are living the dream.
Dude, I'm gonna buy you a beer.
Thank you.
That is inspiring, man.
Thanks, man.
That's what it's about.
And if you ever want to do like a Kickstarter or something for the calendar, I would totally put some money down on
Cool, thank you. I might. I mean, it's going to cost. Last time I printed 500 and I sold out because one website decided to pick me up. It was called thisiswhyimbroke.com, and I literally sent them the link to the calendar, and they put it up live. And then I woke up the next morning with like 200 orders, and it was like the best day of my life. And so
where did this idea? Do you remember the moment when you had the idea?
Yeah, I do. I was. It's funny. I was still smoking weed at the time, so this is kind of a stoner idea. But I was sitting at my computer doing some design work or something, probably in like 2013.
Yeah.
And I just started giggling because I thought of like a Harlequin romance novel cover, like a really like Fabio embracing this real stylistic version of like romance. And I pictured it would just be funny with dragons. And for some reason, I kind of, the more I thought about it, the more funny I thought it would be. And like, how could I market this? And I thought, okay, I could make a calendar, and it would be for that just niche market of people who would find the irony and the stupidity in it. Like, who the fuck would make a dragon sex calendar? And
Turns
I
out
spent
people on the
internet loved it, and I was so blown away. Like I was at I know when I sold my first one, I was out shopping with Vanessa. We were at like Macy's or something, and to backtrack a little bit, like I hadn't done anything with it. A year had passed, and I thought how funny it would be. And I was talking with Vanessa. We were at this Mexican restaurant in Linwood, and I told her about it. We just started dating, and she was like, "Kelsey, I think it's brilliant. I think you should just go for it." And so I did.
Nice.
And we were like, 7-8 months later, when I paid to get it printed, a friend loaned me money, and I didn't want anyone to loan me money. Like, I don't ever want to go into debt to anybody.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'll figure out a way to pay for this. He's like, his name's Aaron Walden. He's been on the podcast. He's a great guy. And he said, yeah, I'll totally pay that. It costs $1,800 to get 500 printed.
Right.
Because you have to pay for the plates, which is really expensive. But once you pay for the plates, like every 100 calendars is like $10.
Yeah.
So it was like I paid for the plates to be produced and then for 500 calendars. So this time around, I'm trying to get 5,000 printed. And I'm going to try to get in some brick and mortar stores.
And you went out and got these big name artists.
Like not, I mean, bigger names. I just put an ad on Craigslist, and these people reached out to me, and I'm much more strict in who I like. I was just saying yes to everybody because I wasn't paying very much.
Right.
And the artwork varied. Like one of the guys, his name's Diego Rios, and he's a Mexican artist, and he like has stuff in museums. He's been published by the New York Times, and he thought it was hilarious, and he did it. And yeah, like I have this year, I have a DC comic artist, I have a fantasy novel cover, I have a person who does like professional like anime painter, and they all think it's hilarious, and they're all down for it. So
man, that I tell you, like people, that is the coolest. Cool. That is how. I mean, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful. Like
people, sometimes people ask me about writing and stuff, and I try to describe to them like stories like that. That's the spirit.
Well, I think it's just about doing, and what it taught me, and I'm not like a person who likes to like talk like about themselves. My mom always told me it was rude to talk about yourself and like your accomplishments, but I can't walk away from this without like an inspirational story to like I just went ahead and did it, and if I hadn't done it, I wouldn't have sold out. Sold out like money wise, like sold out of the calendars, and even if I only sold 2, it still would have felt good. But the fact that like people bought that product, it's like it taught me a lesson where it's like, it's gonna sound hokey, but kind of like follow your fucking dreams, and if you fall flat, it's okay. But just doing it.
It's the impulse that impulse that you had that made you start to laugh or that brought you joy. Whatever that impulse is like catching that and going, you know what? Yeah, fuck yeah. And that's the inspiration. It's just inspiring to see people latch onto that.
Thanks, man.
Go with it.
That's what I'm trying to do with this Chicago thing.
Yeah, you're going down to do a big improv for a whole month, right?
Yeah, 5-week intensive.
And what you like, just killing it in improv and going to Chicago and following your dream of being there? Is that?
I mean, it's like, I haven't really admitted this to anyone. In some ways, it's a trial to see like, what would it be like if I decided to not ever have money again? What would it be like if I was one of those people who moved to Chicago and tried to,
Right.
And your boss is letting you do it, right?
Well, so they're letting me take 3 weeks of it as unpaid leave, basically.
Okay. That's really nice of them, dude.
Good. Good on you, man. Like, I mean,
you gotta put your balls out there.
And I was just thinking the other day, like, man, I wish this was my job. And it's like, that might be possible.
and you'll get to see, and
Yeah.
and the fact that you have that question in the back of your brain, you'll get an answer somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, just do it. And
Yeah.
it sounds corny, but literally there's a book by, I'll get off my soapbox in a second, but there's a book by Stephen Pressfield. It's called The War of Art. It's not the art of war. It's called The War of Art, and it's all about how getting past that fear of doing something, like something, it's built into us as human beings to have that fight or flight, and when something seems scary, we decide to not move beyond it, and getting past that like restriction that your body is telling you don't do it, and that getting beyond that hump is what makes when greatness happens. It's like getting beyond the fear of success and just doing it. And if you fail, like, so fucking what, like, you did it. And if this calendar doesn't sell any and it was a one-time deal, like, that'll be that. And I would have.
It's crazy because I don't think people can really intellectually or even emotionally understand death. If we really could understand one day we're going to be on our deathbeds dying.
Yep.
If you really could wake up in that morning every morning, like, I know, like, you look back and go, oh, there's that impulse, or oh, there's but that's like kind of a negative way of looking at this.
No, but it's true. Like, it sounds like something Les Brown said. Do you know who Les Brown is?
No.
Les Brown is this like motivational speaker, and he said the graveyard is like, no, but it's true. He said, like,
No, I just had this thought in my head that it would be funny if he was a famous racist.
He was a pedophile.
He was a famous
His last
pedophile.
words, though, were genius.
He was a famous pedophile, and what he said on his deathbed, or no, he's not even dead, but he said, like, the graveyard is the richest place on the planet because it's like filled with people with like dreams that they never like accomplished. And do you want to be on your deathbed and be like, there's so much that I could have done with my life, and I was too scared to do it.
Yeah.
I think artistic people think about death a lot more than normal people.
Well, yeah, I mean, because when you make a choice to offer something, I mean, I know for me, there's a sense of posterity. There's a sense of, when I'm dead and my daughter's grandkids are around and they pick up something I've written, they're picking up a part of me.
Yep.
And so it's a gift you can give yourself, but it's also a responsibility, and at times it can feel like, shit, like, it would be nice to have maybe a little bit more steady income or whatnot. But on the flip side, I know, I mean, this is why I know a lot of writers who burn out in Hollywood, and people burn out in Hollywood because it becomes a job like anything else. And that's why you gotta, I've learned, like, where's that impulse? Like, and do you still have the guts to listen to it? And do you want to listen to it? And that's all that it matters. That's why I love clowning so much, is because clowning, you are going to fail.
Yeah.
You're going to walk out on stage and you're given this impossible task you can't do. And so there's going to be that moment of like, oh, fuck, I'm screwed. I just failed. And at some point, if you accept it, there's that impulse is going to show up to start to do something.
When we did our clown duo, it's told that one of the responses that was overheard as someone was leaving was, well, I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
Really?
Perfect.
But there was also like some
That's
real
awesome.
shit. I got a huge compliment, by the way, about that. I never get a compliment like this about improv, but someone came up to me who was in the improv world and was like, that was dope what you and Parker did. That you guys were out there.
Do that again.
But anyways, that not to piggyback off of your thing, but that's just so inspiring, man.
Yeah.
And thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
There's a short story I really want to write because I really like my idea and I just need to force myself to do it. It's a sci-fi short story set in the future where all land is condos for rich people, and normal people spend their entire lives in self-driving cars. So, stillness is like the ultimate privilege. And so, like,
Oh,
you
that's cool.
go like hop over to like the restaurant car or whatever, or like, the corner store car.
That's a cool idea. You should do it. Do it. Just do it. Just write that shit.
So when does that calendar come out? Are you working on it now?
Yeah, I've got like 9 out of the 13, because I do January through January. So I've got 9 out of the 13 panels done and paid for, and I'm just looking for specific styles, of art to get it done, and then I have to get it printed. I was debating reaching out to like Spencer's Gifts, but it would be such a hassle because they work on consignment. So I would give them like 10,000 calendars and I wouldn't get a penny. And I would have to pay for shipping to them, and then the ones they didn't sell, I have to pay for shipping to come back to me. So I'm just going to open up my Amazon storefront, sell them through my website, try to get them on more websites like thisiswhyimbroke.com, which a big shout out to those guys because you literally changed my life. We got to end here soon, but I'll just tell a little story. I was in like financial like dire straits. I had a car that I'd purchased at one of those shitty car lots in Aurora because at the time I had really bad credit. I was working on repairing my credit, but it was really poor, so I had to get a car immediately, and I paid like for this vehicle, and I was making my monthly payments on time, and everything was going really well, and it kept breaking down. And so all my savings kept getting pushed into repairing this car, and finally, like, the engine just died one day. And the mechanic took 3 days to diagnose it. He said, there's nothing you can do. You have to replace your engine, and it's going to cost you, like, $5,000. And my car was worth, like, $3,000. So it was, like, underwater on my car. I couldn't drive it. So I had this car that I still owed money on. I had to get a new car, so I had 2 car payments a month. Plus, I was paying to have that car in storage. So it was just like draining me financially, and I was able to pay that car off with the profits from my calendar.
Nice.
And the rest of it was just put back into the company for like shipping and paying these artists and whatnot. So I'm going to try to go bigger and better this year and try to pay off my school loans and get out of debt so I can stop like having like, 75% of my income going towards debt, which would be nice.
But yeah, I think you could be super successful on Kickstarter.
I should check it out. Definitely. I never thought about that, but it would help to pay for the printing.
And it also gets a lot of publicity, too.
That's true.
You'd start generating publicity before you actually had the thing done.
That's very true. That's a really good idea.
It's just a cool deal, man. It's
And
cool.
I'd totally plunk down a bunch of cash in a Kickstarter if you started one, so...
Cool, man. Awesome. Thank you for the idea. I probably will. I'm gonna look at that on work tomorrow. All right, guys.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much. It was Parker, Drake, and Brandon Thompson. And we're the basement. Thank you for listening.
All right.
And say hi to your children.
And until next week, hail Satan.